Hello, hello, hello. I'm Karen Trelfa, and today I have a great card to share with you using the BBQ Master Bundle. Let me show you what it's all about. So this is the card with the barbecue bundle, great guide card. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. I share card ideas every week that are easier than they look. And if you want to make cards like this one, head on over to Stampers Club and grab my free class. Let me show you how I made this barbecue bundle class. So I started with some real red cardstock. This is a half a sheet, scored at 4 1/4. And I do like to hold the bottom edges or hold the bottom edge and use a bone folder to get a nice crisp score line. If you don't have a bone folder, you might want to grab one. Then I'm going to bring in a layer of pecan pie that I've embossed with the Birch embossing folder, and a piece of basic beige that I've also embossed. This is with the brick wall embossing folder, and a little strip of blueberry bushel. So I'm going to put these together. So I want to get this onto the bottom edge so it looks like there's like a little bit of a brick bottom and a wood top. And then I'm going to add the little strip of blueberry bushel. And that's going to create like a little shelf here, which is going to be absolutely adorable. You're going to love that. We're going to add this to the card base. Super simple. Right, there we go. There we go. So this card uses the BBQ Master Bundle, and I'll link everything below if you want the done-for-you version where I pick the supplies and walk you through it. That's what Club Create is all about. Those details are also over at stampersclub.com. So let's get started with a little bit of stamping for this card. So I'm using, like I said, the BBQ Master stamp set, great guy set. And I'm going to start with some real red ink and get this barbecue made. We're going to get that nice and inked up here. And I'm going to just stamp it straight down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sometimes if you, with these bolder stamps, if you give the bottom edge a little bit of a rub, you'll get a little bit sharper of an image. Okay, I'm going to clean my stamp because I'm going to use it with another color. So then we're going to grab Memento Black. And for this one, whoops, I just want really the bottom half of the card is what I'm really trying to get here, is the bottom half of this. So that's the part that I want to make sure is nice and dark there. And again, you can rub the bottom of the paper if that helps you. If you start to see where you're not getting clear images. I didn't put enough ink on that because I was just using it to get the bottom edge of that. Now I'm going to grab the dies. And, I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple of other things first too. So let me grab so I can die cut them all at the same time. I'm going to grab some base Smoky Slate ink. And I'm going to get these little barbecue tools, right? So this is a little spatula, but I want to two-tone this. I want to get the handle to be black. You're going to see what I'm talking about here, right? So that way you have a black handle and a gray spatula. I'm going to do the same thing with the little fork here. Same thing. I'm going to just kind of touch the edge of the ink pad so that I have a two-tone stamp. And then I'm going to add the little tongs. So we need those. Those I'm going to just do all in silver, well, gray. So this is Smoky Slate. And we're going to add some crushed curry. And I'm going to get a little bit of a mustard jar. Clean my stamp off because I'm going to change colors here. Then we'll go back to the real red again. And we're going to get, guess what? Oh, I think it might just be a ketchup bottle. Isn't that adorable? I love these little jars, these little mustard and ketchup jars. I'm going to imagine that you guys could come up with another color that would make it a whole nother little bottle. And I'd love for you to share that. Put it in the comments what you might think that these little bottles could be used for. I don't know if it could relish. I don't know. There's all kinds of things. So I'm going to get this die here. I have a die for each of these little utensils, right? And that one. And then I also have a die for the bottle. I'm going to grab that. So we're going to get those die cut, and you're going to see some cute little stuff here. So we have all of these little utensils here, and the little legs for the barbecue and the barbecue. Now I'm going to cut off these red legs. I just want to trim that right down to the bottom. Give it a little color here because I want to actually want to put the black on there. And I'm going to trim these little sides here a little bit just so that they don't show. Trim those little edges there. I'm going to get liquid glue because that is probably a little bit easier to use. Got a little liquid glue there, and I'm going to put the legs back on the bottom of the barbecue, right? And then that looks like I have a red grill, but I have black legs. Super easy to make that a two-tone, right? So we're going to add this on the card with a couple of dimensionals. Well, 3. We'll use 3 dimensionals. That's probably a little bit more secure that way. Okay, I'm going to put it right down here in the corner all the way. I'm going to put it all the way down so it looks like it's actually sitting on the ground, right? It's not floating in the air. I'm going to add, I lost my, oh, there they are. I'm going to get my little tongs. I'm going to put those on a mini dimensional. Right about there. And I'm going to hang these from the little handle over here. So I'm just going to pop that down so it looks like they're actually hanging from the barbecue grill. And then these 2 little guys, I'm going to get a dimensional backing here because those are usually a little easier to put tape on, and then you don't have the tape. I don't think that taped on there. When you use this, you end up with just tape on the little piece of die cut, not the whole table here. And I'm going to tape those together a little bit offset so that they look like they're hanging. They'll be hanging together. And again, a mini dimensional. Put that on there. And I'm going to hang that from the other little piece there. So it looks like it's hanging from the barbecue. See how that's, I just put it right by that little handle, right? Then these 2 little guys, we're going to get those both on dimensionals. I think 1 is sufficient on these. These are pretty small pieces, so I don't think you need too many dimensionals. If you feel like you need more, go ahead and add 2. That's easy to do. And I'm going to set these right on this little shelf here. So this little blueberry bushel, by putting that little almost like a sill on my little brick wall, I can set my mustard and ketchup bottle there. Okay. Then we're going to grab some more dies and some scrap pieces of paper. So I have pecan pie, real red, early espresso, crushed curry, and garden green. And then we're going to add in some dimension or some dies. So this is going to be the hamburger. This is going to be the bun. Right? We're going to need the bun. I'm going to need a tomato and an onion, which I'm going to grab it's a piece of white. So we're going to grab an onion and my lettuce. Need some lettuce and some cheese. Okay. And then we'll get all of these die cut. Okay. And then you end up with all of these super cute little pieces here. and we're going to build our hamburger. Now this, again, liquid glue might be the best bet to use on this. And I'm going to back it with that so that we don't have it all over the table. So this is my little hamburger. And whoa, way too much glue. See, that's the green glue, guys. You either love it or hate it, right? I love it, but that one was just a little bit of a oops. Okay, we're going to just put that little guy right there. Got to slide that over. Okay. And then I'll flip that around so it makes more sense with what we're building. Slide those up out of the way. It's stuck to me. That's that green glue, right? So then I'm going to add the cheese. So I'm going to just get, wow, this glue is like leaking out everywhere. I'm going to add a little piece of cheese right over the top of my hamburger, my little burger guy there. I'm going to get a different glue because that one is just leaking everywhere. Then we're going to get the onion, and I will put a little dab of glue on that. That's much better. We're going to get that right on top of the cheese here. And then the tomato, same thing. This one, I think I can just dip in that glue since it's there, right? And we'll put the tomato on. Perfect. Then we're going to get the lettuce. I love this little hamburger that gets built with this set. It is absolutely adorable. And I want to just peek that out a little bit. I don't want it to be too, whoops. I don't want to cover I don't want to have it too tall because that would be a really silly looking hamburger. Just get that layered back down there. And again, I can just dip into this glue here for this piece. And we're going to put the bun on. Okay. Get our little things here a little bit more put together. Get rid of that mess, right? All right, we got our little guys. I think my onions and my tomato is a little too high, so I can slide that down. That's one of the other things with liquid glue. You have a little bit of time to move things around, which really helps, right? And we're going to put this on. I'm going to use I'll just use 2 because I want it to be, this will also help secure these layers together. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on there. Okay. And we're going to put this, I know it's going to look a little like it's a finished hamburger already staying warm on the grill, right? And I'm going to get some crumb cake paper and get my black ink out again. And we're going to use the just chillin' and grillin'. So I'm going to do chillin' and grillin'. You know, like I like to grill. How many of you guys like to grill? We grill more of our meals than we actually cook any other way. That's our favorite way to cook is by grilling. So we're going to do some grilling and chillin'. And perfecto mundo. And then this, I'm just going to do a quick little kind of a cut up to the corner and then down to the other corner, because I don't want this to be just square. I want it to give it a little bit of character. And this I'm going to put on dimensionals also, right like so. So we have to have some sort of a little greeting on this card, don't we? Sure we do. Whoops. And we're going to put that just like that. And you have a super cute grilling and chillin' little guy's card. So this can be used as a thank you. It can be used as a birthday. I mean, or just a, hey, I thought about you. This is a great man's card that kind of fits a whole lot of different applications, which is great. So if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming in May, which is going to be part of this barbecue bundle. That's the next surprise, right? And I'd love to see you over at stampersclub.com. The link, again, is in the description. You're going to absolutely love all of that. I totally enjoyed stamping with you today, making this cute barbecue card. And I really do hope that you have a stamp happy day. Bye now.